I was home again. You talk about that sigh of relief that I got when I used to drink at first, when I used to drug at first, when I first got sent off to rehab, that sigh of relief, I got that all over again. And it came back like that so quickly. And I started getting back in touch with what I believe is my higher power. I started getting back in touch with a great group of people who are on the same path as I am. And I just took off, man. And it was really a good thing because I eventually, about a year or so later, ended up getting divorced. While I was in school to become a nurse practitioner, it was just bam, bam, bam. Life was happening. Life was happening. And thank God I had gotten my roots, planted, because I little did I know I was going to have some more trials and tribulations coming up. And I've been able to get through those. And everything over the last 22 years, I've not done anything on my own. I've had support, recovery, accountability the entire way. And so aside from that one short time when I was about 10 or 11 years sober, I don't think about getting messed up. I don't think about drinking. I don't think about drugging. It's not appealing, nothing. I'm helping other people rescue them from that. Why would I even have that thought that like, oh, that looks like a good time. That looks fun. Because for me, it manifests in other ways. And it's like you said, I'm escaping. I'm trying to numb myself. So when I'm feeling anxious, when I'm feeling really depressed, like you talked about and you struggled with, what does that mean? It means I want to change the way I feel. So today, it doesn't have to be drugs and alcohol. I can go gamble. I can go to the casino. I can, go, sleep with a bunch of different people and change the way I feel. I can go jump out of airplanes, get an adrenaline rush. I can spend a bunch of money and buy things. I can do all these self-destructive things to change the way I feel, because what's going on? I don't like the way I feel right now. And so what I've learned today is, hey, guess what? Feelings aren't going to kill you. It's never been on an autopsy report, died from such and such feeling. Like, feelings don't kill us. Feelings can push us into doing something, or it can hold us down and keep us from doing something. So for me today, I wrap my arms around my feelings and I sit with them and I let them be. I let them do their thing. Because before I got sober, man, I didn't have feelings. I didn't deal with feelings. I screwed people over. I was scared. I was afraid. I ran away. So when I got sober, a really good mentor of mine told me, Patrick, don't drink or drug and don't run. Don't drink or drug and don't run. And that just meant the world to me, because I knew I can't run anymore. I have to face what's going on now. And today, man, everything that I have in my life is because I do hard things. I do hard things all the time. I stretch beyond what my brain tells me I'm capable of. I can't come be on this podcast with you. What are people going to think? I'm going to sound stupid and people are going to think badly about me. Dude, I got into boxing about 4 years ago. I've had 3 boxing matches. Like, what am I doing that? Like, you talk about fear and anxiety and stress, but I do it. I overcome it. And then my brain says, look, dude, you didn't die. See, you didn't die. I've jumped out of an airplane twice now. I didn't die. So it's like the fear, it's all the story I tell myself. So thank God it's not addiction today, but yeah, it can show up. I stopped doing what I've been doing for 22 years, which for me, it's a lot of fun. What I do is a lot of fun in terms of how I do my recovery. It's not a struggle. It's not a struggle, man. If it was a struggle, I wouldn't be doing this for 22 years. Recovery is the only thing that I've done besides breathe air. It's the only thing I've done consistently for 22 years, except for that little couple months when I was 10 years sober.
Mm-hmm. And firstly, I just want to touch on the moving part. And something that I feel like most people that have physical injuries, when they are in hospital waiting for surgery, it's something that actually become an addiction. Because I remember when I dislocated my arm back in, I think it was 2023, and I went to the hospital and they asked me how do I think the number from 1 to 10, and I said 8, and they gave me that morphine and it felt nice. I don't want to lie. It felt
nice. Of course it did.
My problems went away, and I actually enjoyed it. And one thing that I've seen is the culture, and people who are in terms of have physical pain or have physical injury tend to overdoing it when it comes to morphine, and it becomes an addict. It's something that I don't know if the health, I would say the health institutions don't recognize or what, but it is a problem here in South Africa, the way I'm seeing it, because the thing that I observed, because I was in a room I think four guys. I think those four guys that all of them had broken bones. So it's something that, I agree that sometimes the pain of having a dislocated arm or a cheekbone or a broken bone it's painful. I don't know, like, it's painful. And even though when I experienced it, I had a different perspective. I did have a different perspective in such a way that I saw it as an experience instead in terms of a pain. So I actually, as much as I didn't do it on purpose, but it just happened. But I didn't have this big uplift, a picture how people would see me in terms of having a cast. I just had a good time having that experience of realizing that it, as you said, that doing hard things and or then we don't say hard things, feelings and continue. Something that as men we tend to may not get is in a way of, okay, if I show my feelings, I'll be embarrassed. But that, and going back to doing hard things, one thing that I realize is the fact that as much as you do hard things, people from outside won't recognize that, like, you're actually enjoying it. This thing that you are doing, you're actually enjoying it. And at some time, they try to find reasons why you're doing this in terms of asking themselves those questions. So I just want to say thank you so much. Unfortunately, I'm looking at time we will pass the time that we're supposed to be in the interview. I just want to say thank you so much for sharing the story, for having this with me. And honestly, I really enjoyed it and this conversation around addiction, something that it's very close to my heart. It's something that I want people to know about and how they can seek help, how can they hear stories from yourself. And not just because you have experienced that certain trauma or you had a sexual trauma, and that means that you adapt this thing of trauma, but addiction. But also you, as you said, that you had a great childhood, but even though you had those sense of seeking that sense of love, of not realizing that you have to seek that love, I feel like people have a perspective when it comes to trauma in a way of realizing that, okay, I've experienced this, so that means alcohol is the way out, or is the only way.
Yeah.
So
relief is the way out. I need relief.
Yeah. Having that, I think that would numb that pain of not feeling anything, feeling numb. So again, thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate.
Anytime you want to have me on again down the road, you want to continue this, I have so much more we could expound on. So I know you're a busy guy. Anytime, let me know.
No problem. I'll definitely show up in terms of when something comes up. And actually, I might, but at the same time, as you said, that my schedule is actually full for the next 2 months. So, but
no pressure.